We just missed our Be Real, bro.
Oh my god, we have to go back in time.
We have to. Come on.
Gotta go back in time.
Here we go. That's not right. That's not right. What happened to my phone? Where are we, bro?
The French and Indian War.
What year is that in?
1754.
Radical.
What about the 13 colonies, man?
That's what I'm saying, bruh.
In 1607, the 13 colonies were established by Britain, so their war wasn't being fought there because the land was not up for debate. There is talk of the war ending soon. From what I have heard, England will claim all of the French territory west of the Mississippi River, as well as Florida, which Spain has been ruling.
Well, thank you so much for the information, bruh.
But let's go home now.
I'm finally home. Wait a minute, something's not right. Where are we?
What do you mean, where are we? The year is currently 1765. The Stamp Act is underway. I'm so excited!
Wait, I'm confused. Can you explain a little more?
The Stamp Act is a law that our government, or the British government, passed, and it is now in effect. This meant that all paper goods are required to have a stamp on them. This one meant that it had to be taxed by Britain.
But what's the point of it, dude?
We've done this to gain back the amount of money that we've lost during the French and Indian War. In other words, every paper product that the colonies use, we get money back for it. Up until now, the colonists have had their own rule of government about taxes, but now we have the power.
Well, that's not true, but I remember learning about this in school. Didn't protests break out and people boycotted British goods?
What?
Wait 1 second, bro. Just to clear this up, was it only you that did this act, or did somebody else help you?
Well, obviously, King George III helped me a great amount. He was just the one who put these laws in order. He used my wonderful idea.
Oh yeah, then the Stamp Act Congress met in New York City to write a petition about how it was a violation of colonist rights.
Our ideas aren't being represented.
Did you hear? 3 people were shot at the Boston Massacre.
We need a new government.
The British don't have the right to walk all over us.
We are united!
And I remember Patrick Henry was one of the people against this act. After the British continued to struggle, they undid the law because they lost so much money, and Patrick Henry gained popularity. As Patrick Henry once said,
If this be treason, make the most of it.
Shoot, we just told them about the future.
we gotta get out of here fast.
To fight back against the British and show what was right, the Sons of Liberty, run by Samuel Adams, dressed up as Native Americans, snuck on 3 East India Company ships docked on Boston Harbor and threw 342 chests of tea into the harbor to prove that the point of taxation without representation, because Britain put a tax on tea as well, known as the Tea Act. This event was important because it sparked early, strong tension between Britain and America. King George was very upset about this, so the Intolerable Act came into play. This act was a set of 4 laws created by the king, with its only purpose being to punish Boston because of the Tea Party. This truly set the colonists off and made Britain want the colonists to have independence from the king. So in Philadelphia, the First Continental Congress took place to write a letter to Britain explaining the discomfort of the colonists. Thank you for watching.
We need to change, men. After the Intolerable Acts, which is taking away the rights of Massachusetts, we must keep fighting against the British.
What do you mean, where are we? This is July 4th, 1776. We're about to declare our freedom.
Where are all the fireworks, dude?
Fireworks. Anyway, today we are announcing the separation of the 13 American British colonies from Great Britain. Those darn Britons.
Why are you in such a rush?
Because I'm going to be late for the Continental Congress meeting. It's a support of the Revolutionary War. I mean, you want to be free too, right?
Even after signing this document, colonists hadn't technically broken away from British control. The thing that would truly decide their independence was the Revolutionary War.
Bye, I guess. Yo, where are we, bro?
A revolutionary war is beginning.
Oh no!
I don't have time for whatever tomfoolery this is.
Well, then what's going on, bro?
The Battle of Lexington and Concord has just taken place. I'm afraid this might become the beginning of a war. People are calling it the shot heard all around the world.
Who shot first?
Everybody knows the British shot first.
I wish it seemed that no one knows who shot first, but our tactics will be triumphant.
Well, what do you mean, bro?
We have advantages. Our allies, France, Spain, and the Netherlands, are on our side. We are also on our own land, so we know it very well. Our land will be a huge advantage in this war. Also, I have heard rumors that the British aren't trusting their loyalists here and their soldiers.
Oh wow, I can see why we won.
Ha! The battle is not won yet, but I love your hope and optimism.
Oh wait, I remember this. In 1783, the war was ended by the Treaty of Paris, was signed by both Britain and the United States to end the war. It pretty much ended all of the conflict between the two countries and declared independence from Britain. And one of the really important battles of this war was the Battle of Saratoga, which the colonists won. And there was also the Battle of Yorktown, which was the last battle of the war.
What, really?
I didn't pay attention in school, bruh.
Everyone, please listen. Now that we are independent, we don't have a form of government. So I have created the Articles of Confederation. So now we have a formal set of rules for our colonies. But all 13 states will have to approve those articles in order for it to be ratified.
Oh yeah, I remember this too. The first state to ratify it was Virginia in 1777. And Maryland was the last 4 years later.
Thanks, George.
Today we are talking about the Constitutional Convention held on May 25th, 1787. You may be asking, what was the purpose of this convention? Well, it was to fix the flaws of the Articles of Confederation. Any questions from the crowd?
I do. How did they decide who was in this convention?
Well, each state sent 2 delegates to craft the Constitution. The delegates went to help their colonies and support this new growing country. There were 55 delegates there, and 33 of those signed the document. 12 of the 13 colonies attended. Rhode Island was the colony who did not attend because they were afraid this new system would destroy the economy, and they thought it gave too much power to the central government. And Rhode Island had been printing their own money, and the Constitution would make this illegal, and Rhode Island did not like that. Any other questions?
Me, did anyone who was there choose not to sign it, or was anyone unable to be at the convention who wanted to sign?
Yeah, Elbridge Gerry from Massachusetts, as well as George Mason and Edmund Randolph from Virginia didn't sign it because they thought it was flawed. Also, John Dickinson couldn't attend the session where the document was signed, so he had George Reed sign his name for him.
What important people signed this document?
Well, there was James Madison, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, John Adams, and James Monroe. Any other questions?
What is the difference between Federalists and Anti-Federalists?
Federalists have wanted a strong central government to rule the land, whereas Anti-Federalists have supported the idea that a strong central government could become corrupt, causing tyranny. There was actually a large debate while the Constitution was being ratified because Anti-Federalists opposed the ratification, and Federalists did. James Madison and Edmund Randolph are 2 examples of strong Federalists. Any other questions?
Me, how did the Constitution formally go into effect?
To put the Constitution into effect, 9 states needed to ratify it. The first to do so was Delaware in 1787, and the last state to ratify it was New Hampshire in 1788. It was only 9 states because the writers believed 9 states was enough to represent the whole of the country.
We are gathered here today to discuss and justify the laws of the Articles of Confederation and create the Constitution. I encourage delegates to speak out so all ideas can be represented from different states in order to create the best country we can. Let's begin with how the country shall be governed. What ideas do we have?
I am William Patterson, and I am presenting the New Jersey Plan. This plan is the idea that each state should get 1 vote in Congress, so regardless of population, every state gets equal representation.
Well, me and James Madison have been talking, and we created the Virginia Plan. In this plan, we'll have a strong central government with 3 branches: the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch. This plan will practice a system of checks and balances so that each branch will have an equal amount of power. The way we will vote on the representatives is by proportional representation. So representation of each state will be decided by the population of each state.
I have a compromise for these 2 ideas. I believe for the House of Representatives, the representatives should be elected by the state population. But for the Senate, each state will simply have 2 representatives. The Senate won't be by population.
I think that's a fantastic idea. We shall call it the Great Compromise. But how should our president be elected?
Can we all agree that popular vote is a really bad idea because a lot of people aren't educated?
I think that's a great idea, but what about the slavery debate? People from the North and people from the South are not agreeing on this.
Slaves should not be counted in voting. It is unfair to the states with no slaves.
But slaves are citizens of this country just like everyone else, so their vote should count.
What about a 3/5 compromise, where 3/5 of the slave population from each state gets to vote?
Now we are learning about the Bill of Rights. Fast forward 4 years to 1791. The Constitution was doing its job, but it didn't provide basic human rights necessary to have a well-performing country. So the Bill of Rights came to life. What this was a set of 12 amendments to the Constitution written by James Madison to help make it better. The most famous of these amendments is the first one. It grants the freedom of speech, religion, press, and assembly in the United States. But of these 12 amendments, only 10 were accepted, and those 10 became the Bill of Rights.
Wow, history is pretty cool. I definitely wouldn't have thought this much has happened in the past. I'm gonna take a break from my phone and truly open my eyes.
Wait, what about our Be Real? Our Be Real! George, take our picture, take our
Be
picture!
real!
What do I do?
Just click the button.
Okay.